Hi, this is Mike from the Morphin Network here at Pasadena Convention Center for Pasadena Comic-Con 2025 with the legendary Power Ranger Mike Chat, key symbol, the Wizard. How are you doing, Mike Chat?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Are you enjoying the convention so far?
Yeah, it's always good to see the fans and really feel what it means to them to, be a fan, watch the show, meet the heroes. It's really something special.
Wonderful. Well, you were originally a stunt actor, and you eventually got to shine in season 2 of WMAC Masters as a fictional version of yourself, the Wizard, and Larry Lamb is your brother. What was the process of getting you to be a character on that show, and what was some fun things that you experienced while being there?
I grew up watching, admiring, and copying the first season cast as a junior competitor on the tournament circuit. And Larry Lamb, Herb Perez, Ho Sung Pak, the late stunt coordinator Pat Johnson, they all pushed very hard and heavy to have me on the show. They pitched me to the producers, and I'm just really grateful that they brought me on season 2.
Wonderful. Now, you had that rivalry with Larry Lamb, and of course the show ended on a cliffhanger. Many years later, I've been waiting, I've been very patient. We have a potential for a revival of the show. There's a Kickstarter and everything. What are some things you want to see happen if the show got renewed for a 3rd season?
If the show got renewed for a 3rd season, I would love to play the role of, now many years later, we're training up the next generation, and whether it's a leadership role in training and heading the program development for those new aspiring fighters and characters, and or working with the council in more of a leadership role.
Wonderful. And of course, after that show ended, you ended up becoming a full face actor on Power Rangers as Chad Lee. What was the process for that? And did some of the former Power Ranger stunties give you any advice, like Eric Betts or Hien Nguyen?
So on WMAC Masters, I didn't have to audition. I was pitched to the producers by these other competitors that had seen me for years, and I got the direct call. Fast forward, I'm auditioning against 6,000, 7,000 teens from around the world, all different countries. And unlike some of my cast, I went through 8 or 9 rounds of auditions. And so it was a 3-month process. And I didn't know until the very end that Akihiro Noguchi, who was my fight coordinator on WMAC Masters, was part of the 2nd unit team. He was a fight coordinator, and Koichi Sakamoto already knew me. But once I got on the show, then again, one of my Team Paul Mitchell teammates, Richard Brandon, who passed, he gave me a lot of advice. Wow, I just had this flashback to Richie. But yeah, so many Eric Betts, Sophia Crawford, because she was tied in with Jeff Pruitt, and so many stunt people at the time. Hiro Koda, I used to compete against him and with him on the tournament circuit. Hiro Koda was working stunts on Power Rangers, and just really amazing support and guidance from so many different people. Yeah.
So Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. Where would you see Chad Lee right now, 25 years later? And if there was a Now and Forever special for you guys, what would you want to see in that reunion special?
In Power Rangers now, I would definitely be spearheading new team member development and training up the new recruits and the instructors for that team. That would definitely be up my alley. And still working in the water world, of course. But then with all of my students, from Charlie Kirsch, who was the Yellow Ranger in Once and Always, to Liana Ramirez, all the Beast Morpher ones that I trained, from Liana, Colby, Abraham, Jacqueline. There were 6 of them. I'm forgetting somebody.
Davi, maybe?
No, Rory.
Rory.
There's so many great ones, and some of them I trained longer than others. But some of them I actually got them their auditions. So it's like, I would love to do that version where they're all back in some capacity because, I mean, they were my students. And then, of course, if it were ever possible, if there was a world in which I could do that, never been done team up with JDF, that would be so special because he was a martial artist. I grew up with his martial arts family, the Red Dragon Karate Association, Chris Casamassa, his instructor, many of his instructors and friends. So I missed the reunion episode because I was unavailable for 2 of the days and they couldn't work out the dates. I'm so bummed that didn't work out, but that would be my dream.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool seeing you at the press release for the 30th anniversary, and I also adore that like you actually came back behind the scenes to actually train future Rangers to be their best selves as both actors and stunties alike. It's really impressive. Like, was there like a calling for you to like go into that, or was that just like you going with the flow into that position?
Well, because I was always deep in the martial arts community, training, after Taylor Lautner and Jaden Smith, lots of different actors and stunt professionals. Then, Iris, literally, the calling was Iris Hampton, the head casting director. She called and she said, hey, so the producers, everybody's really wanting, actors who have more martial art background, and they would like to see that, but some of the actors they don't have any. Can you work with them and see if you can bring them up to speed, like in the next 3 to 4 weeks, how far can they go? And that will help the producers to assess whether or not they feel like their level can be increased if they get hired working with the stunt team versus, them being non-athletic and difficult to train. So, that's when I really started training a lot of the actors to prep, and then at one point, the production was, paying me to do it because they just, with John Wick, even before the Wick films, with all the popularity of martial arts action in TV and film, they were just wanting better quality. So, which of course was great, and I was happy to do it.
Awesome. I'm immeasurably impressed with all that you've done to contribute to the martial arts community and the stunt community, because I'm very passionate about all of those things. Now, before we close out, are there any upcoming projects, both on or off screen, that you would like to promote without, violating any NDA boundaries?
What I can say is that I'm excited about the producing projects that I have on the slate. And working with 87 North Productions, David Leach, Kelly McCormick, they've opened a lot of doors for me. And we have, my wife and I have a short film that's been winning awards called The Proposal. Ooh. And my wife, Narita Bega, she's the star and the head producer on it. And we are developing it into a full feature. And we have a lot of interest, which is exciting. So, be on the lookout for that.
I can't wait to see that. Are there any social medias you'd like to plug for the fans to follow you on?
It's pretty much Mike Chat or Mike Chat XMA on all the socials. So you can find me out there, and always happy to help. And we've got a free community out there for people when it comes to mindset and success strategies. They're looking for help, and you're wanting to go to the next level. It's a free online community, and just there to be of service and help people realize their dreams.
Yeah. I'm Mike M. That's Mike C. And we're signing off. Lightspeed Rescue.